Before the growl became legendary, before the voice shook speakers across the world, before fans raised their hands and shouted every lyric back at him, there was a young boy named Earl. And here's the heartbreaking twist. The man who later became known for sounding fearless spent much of his childhood looking for love, safety, and belonging. Because behind the powerful image of DMX was a family story filled with struggle, unanswered questions, emotional wounds, and complicated relationships that shaped the man the world would later know. The beginning: a child enters a difficult world. DMX was born Earl Simmons on December 18, 1970, in Mount Vernon and grew up mainly in Yonkers. He entered a world where life was already difficult. His parents were young and facing serious challenges. Money was limited, stability was limited, and peace often felt limited too. Years later, DMX openly discussed painful childhood experiences and how deeply they affected him. Those early years became some of the emotional fuel behind the voice that would eventually reach millions. His mother, Arnett Simmons. DMX's mother was Arnett Simmons. She raised Earl through extremely difficult circumstances, often while dealing with poverty and life's pressures. But DMX later spoke publicly about experiencing severe hardships during childhood and described painful treatment and difficult moments within his home life. For young Earl, childhood wasn't always filled with the warmth people imagine. Instead, it often involved fear and emotional pain. Imagine a child trying to understand the world while carrying burdens far too heavy for his age. Those experiences stayed with him for years. And perhaps this explains why so many DMX songs felt intensely personal. Underneath the rough delivery often lived sadness. Underneath the bark often lived heartbreak. Underneath the toughness often lived a child still searching for peace. Despite their difficult history, relationships between parents and children are rarely simple. Love, pain, anger, disappointment, and forgiveness can sometimes exist together. And DMX's story reflected that complexity. His father, Joe Barker. DMX's father was Joe Barker. One of the most painful parts of Earl's early life was that his father was largely absent during much of his upbringing. Growing up without a consistent father figure left emotional gaps that many fans later believed could be felt throughout his music. Because absence can shape a person as powerfully as presence, questions remain. Why wasn't he there? What would life have looked like if things had been different? For many children, those questions can linger for years. And for Earl, those emotions became part of his artistic identity. When fans listened to him speak about loneliness, betrayal, and searching for love, many felt they were hearing real life, not performance. Family life. Instability became normal. Young Earl experienced a childhood that involved instability and periods spent in children's homes and institutional environments. Many children grow up with routines. Wake up, go to school, come home, feel safe. For Earl, life often looked different. There were changes, uncertainty, struggles, and emotional challenges that arrived very early. These experiences forced him to mature quickly. Too quickly. He learned survival before comfort. He learned toughness before trust. His siblings, the quiet chapter of DMX's family story. One interesting thing about DMX's family history is that information regarding his brothers and sisters remained relatively private compared with other parts of his life. Unlike celebrity families that constantly appear in headlines, complete public information about all of DMX's siblings has never been widely documented. There have been mentions over the years that he had siblings and extended family members, but verified details about each sibling and their lives are limited. This means there is no widely established public record listing all of his brothers and sisters in detail. What often received attention instead were the emotional conditions surrounding his family environment rather than the individual identities of siblings. The family atmosphere described across different periods of his early life included financial hardship, emotional difficulties, instability, searching for connection. How his family shaped the artist. Here's where the story becomes powerful. Many artists create songs from imagination. DMX often created from experience. When he rapped about pain, faith, anger, betrayal, loneliness, hope, people believed him, because they could hear something real. His voice didn't sound polished. It sounded lived. It sounded like every difficult childhood memory had found a microphone. And maybe that's why listeners connected with him so deeply. Because before he became a superstar, before platinum albums, before movie roles, before millions of fans around the world, he was simply Earl, a little boy trying to find the love and stability he didn't always feel growing up. And years later, that little boy's voice echoed across the world.